Welcome back to NTheRealestWay podcast by Marqes Smith, where we talk about so many topics in the realest way. In this podcast episode, I want to talk about the importance of it really is that deep, and how everything that you do in your life, everything that you experience, who you hang around, all of that, it really is that deep. I want to say thank you for all the listeners who are listening to this podcast, supporting this podcast, sharing this podcast. None of this would be possible without you. I appreciate everybody. I'm thankful. And yeah, let's get into this podcast episode. It really is that deep. It's something that has hit me in my current time right now, especially because I found myself being around people who wanted to take more of me from me in a way to where they wanted to hurt me. And me as a person who, of my stature, as a Leo, I take things more directly now. I didn't before. There was a time before when I allowed people to disrespect me. I allowed people to say certain things to me or direct it towards me, and I wouldn't have anything to say about that or anything to do about that. And of course, everything does not need a direct approach in a way to where it's something of a form of aggression. Sometimes you need to put your foot down. But I'm talking about sometimes you need to ask for clarification. Sometimes you need to, get an understanding between you and the other person of, hey, what did you mean by what you said? And how does that make them feel? How does it make you feel? To understand what's the miscommunication, okay? Those are things about how having people around you who do those certain things to you when they try to drain you or do something like that, it really is that deep. Allowing people with good intention, with love in their heart, people who want to push you forward, all those things is detrimental. It is so detrimental for yourself. For yourself. There's this example that I will use forever. There's nothing wrong with going to the club every so often. There's nothing wrong with partying every so often. But if I see you and you want me to go to the club with you every single day you get a chance, I cannot be your friend. And I understand that there's a level of friendship where there's different friends for different things. There's party friends, studying friends, friends who support you, that go to all your, there's different types of friends. I understand that. But me, a party person, I wouldn't say that they couldn't be a friend of mine, but the level of effort I would put into that kind of relationship, it would be significantly lower because I don't place those kind of friends in a higher level. I won't give that kind of energy into those kinds of people. I'm not saying I don't have those kind of friends, but I'm saying those people are on a lower level of who I would, because first of all, the amount of energy I give you, it shows how much of an investment that I have within this relationship. So when I'm telling you that, and this is a whole wraparound, that I expect this from you as a friend, and you fail to meet that requirement, and it's not in a toxic, in a bigot way, it's just the truth of how relationships should work and how I value myself and my boundaries. Again, going back to, it really is that deep. Because if I'm a person who values this relationship to a higher status than you, I will continue to fail myself and fail you as a friend, as a person, because I'm expecting you to be something that you are not. So to understand that making it obvious, so it really is that deep. So to take time for relationships that you cherish, that you care about, that you want to grow, it's okay to ask the question of how and where am I placed in the level of your life? It's important to ask that. It's important to know that, because you could be sitting here, for instance, me, I don't have an issue with a lot of people. I can get along with a lot of people, but those people aren't my friends. I'm now very specific about who I say is my friend. I'm very specific. If I even call you a friend, if I even consider you a friend, the amount of time you would have had to have given me, and that's vice versa, for me to even be comfortable with even calling you a friend, is a lot. So once I give you that level of status, of course it's going to be something of where I'm expecting you to be something. And that's where the issue lies, because some people, they call almost everybody their friends. And it's like, it's okay to have all these people that you know, but then it's the level of those people don't hold you to the same status. So now there's a complication. Now there's a miscommunication between two people in this relationship. It really is that deep. Because if I'm here expecting you to be something, and you're saying that you're going to be this for me as a friend, and you're not doing that, that disregards everything that I hold as a friend for you and for me. And this whole topic of it really is that deep, it goes to friends. When I'm a person, and I would assume every relationship, not just a friendship, romantic, all of them, even a workplace environment, there are certain times when you publicly disrespecting me or publicly disagreeing, especially as a friend, especially in a romantic way. I do not believe you should publicly disagree with me or publicly disrespect me as a friend. Once it gets to that point, it's a wrap. Because I've been clear about my level of a relationship, a level of friendship, that I will not allow people around me who will disrespect me or treat me in a way to where I feel like my feelings, my emotions do not matter. It really is that deep. Because once I allow you to do that to me, once I allow you to disrespect me, then I'm allowing myself to be disrespected by myself. Then there's a pattern and there's a continuation of a cycle to where there's negativity and all kinds of things. It just keeps popping up more and more and more, because the more you allow something, the more it will continue to happen. This person sees them treating you that way. So now it's this cycle of, okay, now this person thinks they can do this and that and this and that and this. It really is that deep. It really is that deep. I'm not a party person. I don't get excited going to parties. It does not move me. It does not push me. I do not hold those kinds of friends to that level. And that's okay. And it's important that we just allow ourselves in any relationship to be honest, to be open, because it really is that deep. Once a person knows that this is what you expect from the relationship, regardless of whatever it is, the more healthy the relationship will be, because there's an understanding between two people. If I'm sitting here telling you that I, in this romantic relationship, agree to have a monogamous relationship, and we both agree upon that, there should be no confusion about being in anything else. That is now considered cheating. It really is that deep. It really is that deep. And it's about principle too. I promise you, I don't just cut people off for anything, okay? I know there's like this thing of like, oh, I'm just going to cut people off, if they do this or that, because it seems so insignificant into somebody else's eyes. And I understand that. I'm not expecting everybody to understand everything I do, but it's a principle. So even if you do something and it seems like, oh, why would that matter? For instance, the matter of not considering me in something that I would consider you. And of course it's not in everything, but like just like the basic of just like of like it's like human life and like what we do, the fact that you didn't consider me when you stated that I'm this kind of person in your life, and then you decide to do something to where I feel like I don't matter, when you know that would make me feel that way. That is a principle thing to me. And the situation could have been small, but I can see in ways that it will come up again. And I'm a type of person, I will address it with you. I'm very direct. There are plenty of times when people around me will see the more direct side before they ever see the passive side. Because that's just my nature. My nature is to be more direct than other people. It's just who I am, and I understand that. So yes, you can expect that from me as a friend, to be direct with you about an issue, especially if I hold you to a higher level than other people. And I understand on my end, sometimes my expectations of other people become unrealistic. I understand that sometimes I could be the reason why the relationship isn't as healthy. But I promise you, every single day, I'm pushing myself. I'm opening my mind more and more to everything, because it really is that deep. Because how can I expect people to meet me in a certain way in a relationship to where the foundation is healthy, when in the beginning, I'm the one who's putting holes into it? It's important that we do that. It's important, and it really is that deep. I don't want a friend around me who doesn't understand that as a friend, no matter what kind of friend they are, the basis of supporting your friend, listening to your friend, understanding your friend, those are all important things that any friendship needs. It doesn't matter if that person's a party friend. There should be a level of just basic of what any friend should do, and with any friend. So there shouldn't be I feel like there shouldn't be any complications about that. Me personally, as a friend, because I just don't use that term so loosely. And I make that obvious. I make it obvious. You don't see me going out with all these people. So when I go out with you, you clearly see that I'm only doing this because you asked me to. It really is that deep. It really is that deep. I've cut people off. I have. And in the time of me speaking to those people, addressing those people and telling those people, hey, because I care. First of all, let's get to the understanding that you don't have to explain yourself to anybody. But as a friend, as somebody who was your friend, who cares about you, I will explain what you did to me so that you can understand, so that we both can understand, so that we can walk away understanding that the relationship just wasn't going to work, and that it wasn't some misunderstanding between both of us in our minds. In having that conversation with that person, I understood their side. But in the end, I understood mine too. In that I've tried. I've given myself so much to other people that I couldn't do it anymore. I couldn't. And I told them, I was like, I just don't see our relationship ever continuing. I said, do you? Do you really see that? Especially when I ask you for the basic of any kind of relationship any relationship, not even a friendship, just any relationship that you have on a personal level. And you couldn't give me that. Yes, you can, when I go out, buy my food for me, do all these amazing things that are bonuses in a friendship. But I don't care about any of that if you're not doing the bare minimum of what a friend should do. And I use this situation to them because when I cut that person off, it didn't mean I didn't care for them. It didn't mean that our relationship meant nothing to me. I was hurting. I am still hurting. I see that person every single day. You don't think it crosses my mind? You don't think I don't have the urge to want to speak to them? How are you doing? How are you feeling right now? As a friend that I was before, I still hold that person in my mind to that standard, but I have to correct myself. This person is no longer my friend. I cannot expect that person in any way. Yes, I was the one who initiated this cutoff, but that doesn't take away the feelings. But anyway, the situation I used with them was they're in a relationship and somebody was talking to their significant other. And then they, for whatever reason, was a little more rowdy. Like, why are you talking to my person? So they were, getting a lot aggressive. And I was thinking like, okay, me as a person who is asking you just for the bare minimum of supporting me and having my back in public and correcting me in private, they couldn't even do that. And it was something that was minor to me. So me asking them to do something like that was something that was hard for them. Yet when it came to a romantic relationship, somebody speaking to their significant other, and it wasn't in any kind of way, just conversating with that person, it got them riled up. And they did more than what, was even asked for. And I understand that that's a romantic relationship versus a friendship. But I feel like, me personally, yes, they're two different types of relationships, but the feelings should be the same. Of course, they're not going to like me the same way, but I'm talking about in terms of status, in terms of how the relationship should be. And it showed me how much that person valued me. And I had to tell myself every time I wanted to go back that it really was that deep, that person would never see me in a way that I saw them, which was a friendship way, to where the standard was of what I expected in the beginning when I told these people that. It really is that deep. I promise you, surround yourself with good people, with good intention. People who want to work, people who want to push themselves. Don't be around people who don't care about what, oh my goodness, I will say this forever. How you do anything is how you do everything. It doesn't matter if you don't want to do it. If you're half doing something that you don't want to do, that just shows the entirety of who you are. And I refuse to have friends. I refuse to have people in my circle who will be that way. And that goes for everything, for workplaces. You don't have to speak to those people. And I tell people all the time, these are my work people. I work with these people. They are not my friends. There will never be anything on a personal level, because then people tend to, they tend to get it complicated and confused, and they start to really overstep boundaries. And there's times where I had to really, really tell people and really show them that, hey, this is our relationship right here. It's a work relationship. Stop trying to make it something that it's not. It really is that deep. Everything, from when you wake up, when you make your bed, when you open the blinds up, all these things that you do with intention. with intention, good intention. It all matters. It all matters. It really is that deep. It really is. So yes, I had to remove myself from you. No matter how much I cared about you, I had to remove myself because it was that deep. I'm happy God gives me these lessons, these trials, to where sometimes I don't see how moving forward is the next step. Sometimes I can't even see what's moving forward even looks like. But God continues to show me that everything will be okay if I continue to have faith. If I stay in what I know God wants me to do. I could do no wrong. No matter how much I fail, no matter how much I think I will not get up, I know that if I'm serving God with the best intention, with the purest intention in my heart, I know that I could do no wrong. So just to recap this podcast episode, it really is that deep. From the foods that you eat. And I'm talking to myself right now. Yes, it may be easier to go order some Burger King, some McDonald's. It may be easier. It may be hard to go to the grocery store and get all these ingredients and, cook food and, eat something more healthy. It may be easier to go do that other alternate thing. But everything is hard, no matter how easy it looks. Not going to the gym is hard. Going to the gym is hard. Okay? Everything that you do, you have to choose what you want to do with your life. Every single day, I wake up and I decide, I'm going to do the best I can. I'm going to push myself. I'm not going to do as good as I expect myself to do, but I'm going to do the best that I can do with what I have. It really is that deep. And this isn't for anybody else. This is for you. So you can close your eyes and go to sleep and thank God and say, hey, God, I did the best I could because you gave me the strength. You gave me the power. It really is that deep. I could go on and on. I could talk about so many things, so many situations where it really was that deep, and I thought it wasn't. When I used to think that allowing your friends to treat you a certain way, it wasn't that deep. Those people care about me. Maybe they didn't mean it that way. No, ask them what they meant. And if what they meant was misunderstood, then you say, oh, I understand now. But if it was something that was intentional to hurt you, then that's when you remove yourself. It really is that deep. It really is that deep to ask those questions in relationships. It really is that deep to cut people off when they don't respect your boundaries. It really is that deep to go eat that healthy food, to make your bed in the morning before you go to work. It really is that deep to take care of your body, to take care of your soul, your spirit, everything. It really is that deep. How you carry yourself, all of it, it's important. It is so important. That's what this podcast is about. Speaking to you, but actually also speaking to myself. I feel so passionate. I feel like God is just feeding me all these words to say because I know that it's in the realest way. I know that it's with pure intention. And I know that everybody will not understand me. Everybody will not understand why I do the things I do. But I don't pray to God. I don't pray to God to be understood. I pray to God to understand. And I know there's days when I'm shortcoming, when I will decide on my own what you meant instead of asking you. There's days when I do that. But I understand that there will be setbacks and that healing is never linear. It's never from the lowest to the highest, and it's like a slope of continuous healing. It will never be that way. Some days I feel like I'm on cloud 9. I'm up to the heavens. And there's some days where I'm crawling on the dirt, trying to stay alive, mentally drained, physically tired. But I keep going. I crawl, I walk, I run. Whatever I'm doing, I'm moving forward every single day. Because it really is that deep. And I want to close this podcast episode off like I usually do, with giving the thanks to the utmost, the highest power, God. And thanking my family, my friends, thanking my listeners, everybody who's contributing to my life in the realest way. I appreciate it all. And I know that this is many and many steps in my success as a human being of becoming a better person. So thank you for listening to this podcast and this podcast episode. This is In the Realest Way. Out.